Swallowed star. Even though his earth body failed to absorb the third crystal, he wasn't affected by it at all. Instead he continued his training. Under the killing aura environment of the ancient god ruins, even though it was for the sake of absorbing the crystals, Luo Feng's main attention was still spent on studying the 9-universe tablet drizzle picture. He had completely comprehended the first 9 wonders. As for the middle 27, every one of them was much more profound. It had been over 32 years since he arrived in Blood River Continent. Even though his improvement was huge, his true comprehension of the wonders was still very little. The Blood River crystals are but supplementary assistance. As for my mental state, I can't see or even touch it. The origin laws are the most important. These 30 years, the golden horned beast had combined the 3 ancient pictures and studied tearing sky and land. Its improvement in the gold origin laws far exceeded the Masha clan's improvement. Luo Feng sat cross-legged in his stone bed. I'll focus my attention of studying the drizzle picture too. Time and space, these were the hardest to comprehend. His earth body's weapon, the Nanshan armament, was a combination of gold and space. His improvement in gold was very fast, so much so that space couldn't keep up, resulting in him using both the Masha body and himself to study space together. The universe was vast and endless, and in it, tens of years was simply nothing. For some ancient beings, just a blink of their eyes and it would have been trillions of years. In the blink of an eye, Luo Feng had been in the Blood River Continent for over 80 years. Virtual Universe, Thunder Island. A graceful lady in jade green armor stood at the edges of the island along a 10-li reef. Ahead of it were large amounts of revolving lightning snakes. Suddenly a silhouette shot over from the distance, landing on the huge reef. It was the golden armored ape-man True Yen Emperor. "Jade, you are looking for me?" True Yen smiled. The jade green armored lady turned to look. She was Jade Emperor. Jade nodded. "What's the matter?" True Yen smiled and asked. "It's regarding your disciple Luo Feng." Jade said, her voice clean and clear. "Ah." True Yen was shocked. "Why are you concerned with my disciple?" "My disciple is only at universe level. He hasn't truly headed out to explore. His condition now, you should know it the best." Jade shook her head. "It seems clear, yet at the same time, it's not clear at all." "Speak directly." True Yen said. True Yen smiled proudly. "This disciple of mine, even though he's only at universe level, his soul is far from evolving into an undying. However, just in terms of willpower, I am afraid he exceeds that of an undying. Many don't even compare to him. I know this of course, otherwise it wouldn't have aroused the upper echelons." Jade Emperor emphasized. "And also within the last 80 years, he actually passed the Heavenly Bridge's 6th level. He's caught up with Bolan's comprehension speed." "Bolan, that punk, he's making his own life difficult." True Yen said. "Doesn't matter, Luo Feng's improvement speed is shocking." Jade's expression was serious. "And his genius competition was organized by 9-Blade Knight. Hence, once he becomes undying, he would naturally be under him. The knight favors him a lot. However, he actually took on the Blood River World mission and hasn't returned in 80 years, remaining there." True Yen nodded. 80 years. During these 80 years, he hasn't attempted the Heavenly Bridge. Fantasy Ocean. Jade frowned hard. "He had only occasionally contacted you, and listened to some undying classes. These 80 years, the other geniuses have all improved quite a lot, all have taken on many missions, many finishing all 10. Only this Luo Feng still remains on Blood River World. And according to the report, his automaton ship has been in space for a long time. The location is the ancient god ruins of Blood River World. The dangers of the ancient god ruins, you should be clear. The knight's viewing of him is even higher than that of Bolin. And these 80 years, he's been in contact with you. Hence I hope you can tell me his situation on Blood River continent, every bit of it. Jade emphasized. True Yen, honestly speaking, taking risks are important. However, one cannot madly take risks. You cannot take your disciple's life as a joke. He is after all just a universe-level punk. He hasn't been doing much these 80 years, just studying the origin laws. True Yen smiled. How's his studying? Jade asked. As Luo Feng hadn't attempted the heavenly bridge, no one knew about his speed and level of study. Average. True Yen said casually, of the first 36 wonders, he's comprehended 35 of them. Even though he said it very casually, his expression was that of pride. Comprehended 35? Jade was shocked. The September 1st, middle 27 and final 72. Luo Feng comprehended 35 wonders. 1. He has me for pointers. 2. He has time-space scribbles to aid in his study. 3. He's absorbed Blood River crystals. Hence, his study speed has increased. True Yen looked at Jade. Also, he is indeed a genius, his comprehension speed rises with his strength. Blood River continent, ancient god ruins, huge pit. Huge pit quarters. Luo Feng opened his eyes. He sat cross-legged in his bronze armor. 80 years, it had been 80 years since he came to Blood River continent. The effects of the killing aura shaping his body was getting lesser and lesser, however at least it was still improving. However he was still a little shy of absorbing the third crystal. These 80 years, my comprehension of the space laws has improved a lot. Luo Feng exclaimed. Comprehending 35 wonders. He would never have expected to have done something so absurd. Primal Chaos City's 30 years was 100 years in the actual universe. In those 30 years in Primal Chaos City, he only comprehended 9 wonders. Yes. Towards the end, even the golden horned beast began to study the space laws. This was because, in training Tearing Sky and Land and the 3 ancient pictures, during the 39th year, the golden horned beast had comprehended that the ancient beast's claw attack wasn't simply infused with gold laws, simultaneously it had space laws within. To truly figure out the powerful attack of Tearing Sky's first claw, the golden horned beast's main study was the ancient pictures. Tearing Sky and Land became secondary. As every one of the 3 ancient pictures were incredibly profound. And one of the claws was infused with space laws, hence the golden horned beast began to study the space laws too. With the 3 bodies studying simultaneously, reflecting each other's comprehension, especially on the ancient pictures, the rewards were bountiful. It allowed Luo Feng's comprehension to progress extremely fast. Also, I think after a few more years, I'll have comprehended the 36th wonder. Luo Feng's face was filled with anticipation. Tearing Sky's first claw. Accurately speaking, my fast improvement speed is mostly because of the ancient pictures. Luo Feng was curious within. That simple wave of the claw was already so profound and unbelievable. Using his human body to study that claw was useless. However, its effects on the golden horned beast's Tearing Sky and Land, while studying that claw, especially looking at the ancient pictures, it almost felt as though that claw encompassed everything. It was so deep and profound, that his own comprehension was still superficial. Just how strong was that beast? Luo Feng thought within, after which he didn't think anymore and headed out of the cave entrance. Following the pathway, he quickly reached side of the mountain and looked at the endless red aura revolving. Half a year ago I tried heading to the killing aura whirlpool and was able to reach the point of 9.5 times, it was less than 100 m from the center of the whirlpool. I had to stop there. Luo Feng was filled with anticipation. I feel that I've had improvement over this half a year, who knows whether I'll be able to enter the whirlpool core. So. He rushed straight down and headed towards the depths of the aura. After a while, Luo Feng had already reached within that huge whirlpool. Rumble. The huge whirlpool that was almost like fresh blood was revolving continuously, dragging the auras beside along with it. The core itself looked like a red sun. The bronze-armored Luo Feng drew closer to the center step by step, going closer and closer to the eye of the storm. I'm really curious, just what is in the core of this whirlpool? Luo Feng withstood the killing aura willpower that was constantly growing strong and invading his mind, getting closer and closer to the glaring red sun. Hua hua, the aura there was as thick as fresh blood. The large whirlpool even emitted an ancient eternal energy, it made one's very soul tremble. Come on, child. Come. Come here. Enjoy killing and slaughter, what a beautiful and endless feeling, a formless enticement accompanied the killing aura willpower. That strong willpower was like tanks clashing against Luo Feng's willpower, as he was affected, the enticement began. A bronze-armored Luo Feng drew closer and closer towards the center which was completely engulfed in the aura, gritting his teeth to endure. Mine, it's mine. I want to kill, I know how to kill, all external willpower, break. Break. Luo Feng's willpower was extremely solid, as it was defending against these attacks and enticement, not allowing any of them to seep in. As he gradually drew closer to the core, the willpower and enticement got stronger and stronger. The closer he flew to the sun like red ball, the more cautious he got. Distance of 50 m, 40 m, 30 m, 20 m, 10 m. The red ball was right ahead. It was the core of the huge aura whirlpool. Rumble, a formless ancient energy radiated, causing Luo Feng to feel as though he was an ant against a godly dragon. Even if I am an ant, I'm an ant that can defeat a godly dragon. Aura whirlpool core, within the red light ball. Luo Feng slowly progressed, however he felt the killing aura willpower actually diminish, it's almost as though as I get closer to the ball, the willpower is strongest. After entering the ball, it gets weaker instead. He flew at a speed that was even slower than a normal person's walk, after about 30 m, before him was still the thick red ball. Chi! Luo Feng's entire being pierced through the outer layer of the red light ball, looking at the scene before him. Mo. There wasn't any red energy within. There were however huge, golden engravings as thick as one's arms. Every one of them was incredibly complex. There were a total of 12, 100 to 1000 m long golden engravings, interweaving and revolving in the space. Each one made one's heart tremble, making one submit. Such energy was being emitted from the 12 thick engravings. Simultaneously, the 12 huge golden engravings emitted golden light threads, engulfing the entire region. The gold light revolved about, making the space around them like a sacred land. The revolving gold light continued to produce 3 images, a picture of the huge lizard beast, raising its horn towards the skies, a huge hand smashing down towards it, causing the beast to fly, waving its long tail until it almost vanished and dispersing the huge palm. 3 ancient pictures. These were the 3 ancient pictures he often saw. However, at this point, at the core of the whirlpool, the 12 huge golden engravings emitted the naturally formed pictures much clearer than before. Every picture, occasionally appeared and then dispersed. These 3 ancient pictures, were floating just like a piece of paper on water, continuously revolving, occasionally sinking to the bottom of the water before resurfacing. Repeating over and over. Li. Ong. The ancient phonogram, almost like a beast without intelligence speaking, seemed to pass through trillions of years of time and space, resounding in Luo Feng's ears. My God! Luo Feng stared wide. Origin Laws engravings, these are Origin Law engravings. These are Space Origin Law engravings. At least, they are a part of it. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed, following which he landed where the three ancient pictures disappeared. This time, it was different from the blurry images that he spotted before, he saw them extremely clear this time. This was even to the point where as the beast attacked, he could feel every bit of it clearly. I'll first remember these pictures and then study the Origin Law engravings. Luo Feng began to stare hard at the three pictures of tearing sky first claw. With his quantum computer-like brain, he could remember vividly each of them like a video recording. This was very simple. However, he needed to remember the feeling and situation too, that energy infused with profoundness and mystery, to allow him to study it in the future. Studying tearing sky first claw for close to 80 years, he clearly remembered the picture of that move from long ago. And at this time, whether it was studying the original tearing sky first claw or altering it according to the memories he had of it before, Luo Feng was very clear that before he became undying, his level of the first claw paled in comparison to that ancient beast's. Hence it wasn't the time for him to be proud, but to lower his ego and study that ancient beast well. As he used his entire being to remember the ancient picture of the first claw, Luo Feng didn't realize, as his body was there, the gold lights shot right through him. Even though there wasn't any killing aura that invaded him, his every cell within began to change and evolve greatly. If one said that under the killing aura's attack, the body's cells would change gently and slowly. At this time, it was accelerated 100 to 1000 times. After remembering the first claw for some time, as he closed his eyes, the image of that first claw clearly replayed in his mind. He finally exclaimed, "My comprehension still isn't high enough. This should be my memory's limit, I'm unable to remember the situation and feeling and energy any deeper." Following which he looked at the other two pictures. Compared to the first claw, spending 80% of his attention on it, for the other two techniques, Luo Feng had spent little time on them. As his comprehension was weak, even after trying hard to remember them, not long after, he couldn't remember them any better already. Within his memory. I've finally remembered them. Luo Feng revealed a look of excitement. These ancient pictures, humans are unable to study. However, it's extremely beneficial to the golden horned beast. Studying it raises its understanding and comprehension of the laws, that in turn helps my human body's comprehension as well. The three great bodies were working together, naturally the improvement was huge. Ah, my body. As his attention returned, Luo Feng quickly realized the changes to his body. His body's every cell seemed to have evolved. Change occurred continuously. This change, it's the same change as the killing aura. Luo Feng was shocked, revealing a look of glee after. However, the change seems to be 1000 times faster. One day here is akin to a few years outside. Luo Feng was ecstatic. He stood up in mid-air, looking at the 12 huge golden engravings. These 12 engravings seemed simple, however they were still much more profound than the engravings that True Yan Emperor demonstrated in his classes in Primal Chaos City. Luo Feng looked for a while, feeling dizzy within. It feels like space. With some bits of gold origin laws. However, upon careful examination, it's neither. Luo Feng was very curious. The origin law engravings his teacher True Yan demonstrated occasionally had hundreds to 1000 engravings. Luo Feng knew quite a bit of them. However, at this time, he didn't understand this at all. No matter how expensive a book is, before a blind person, it was still useless. Infused with endless wonders, the engravings within weren't useful at all to Luo Feng. He couldn't even remember the energies emitted from it, simply relying on his quantum computer-like brain and consciousness, forcing out a simple picture within. Just like taking a picture. Days passed. Even within this aura whirlpool core, with the gold light shining on him, Luo Feng's body evolution speed slowed as the days passed. This was something he anticipated as it was reaching his body's limit. My earth body, if only it could be as sick as the golden horned beast's body. Even without any aura invasion, immediately absorbing 97 crystals. Luo Feng thought. 97 crystals. That was the achievement of close to 80 years. These 80 years, the origin law's comprehension, and mental state training had risen shockingly, hence allowing him to make it deep into the whirlpool core. As for the golden horned beast's right claw, these 80 years had occasionally evolved further, currently having absorbed 97 blood river crystals. After a while, the changes that occurred deep in Luo Feng's body finally completely stopped. I'm already at my limit. Luo Feng thought. I've been in this whirlpool core for close to 30 days. If it were outside, it would at least be 100 years before my body is fully saturated. Who knows if I can absorb the third crystal now? I'll return to the cave to try. Looking at the 12 huge golden engravings floating in mid-air, he turned and rushed through the red light layer, swiftly heading back towards the outer layer of the whirlpool. Luo Feng became a green light and entered the entrance of his cave into huge pit quarters. Within the cave. In that whirlpool core, after experiencing and absorbing that golden light for 30 days, my body is already saturated. Luo Feng flew straight to his stone bed and sat cross-legged. His eyes were filled with anticipation. Hope I can absorb the third crystal. If I still fail, then I won't ever be able to absorb it. After all, my body's limit has already been reached, whether it's the killing aura, or the even better golden light, it's already useless. Taking a deep breath, Luo Feng flipped his hand and a blood-red triangular crystal appeared on his palm. Even after seeing it thousands to tens of thousands of times, he still couldn't help but be drawn in by its beauty every time. It's too beautiful. This is a treasure of the universe. Luo Feng gently sliced his left palm. A wound appeared and fresh blood flowed, making contact with the crystal. Immediately a formless killing aura willpower rushed against his. However, his earth body had only absorbed 2 crystals before, hence this amount of willpower was a joke. Luo Feng frowned, sitting cross-legged, his body began to twitch uncontrollably. His muscles twisted, his veins were squirming around like worms, scales began to appear on his skin. Pain, intense pain. However, the golden horned beast had absorbed 97 crystals before. Hence, this level of pain was something he could totally bear with. Minutes and seconds passed. Success. I finally succeeded. When he felt the entire crystal had been absorbed, his body had successfully digesting it. Luo Feng couldn't help but feel ecstatic. Yes. Mad glee. His power had leapt, his melding with the origin laws and comprehension had all risen, this was simply one part of it. Another was the points. The virtual universe company points were very valuable, just like this Blood River World mission. The first mission was to acquire 1 Blood River crystal, and the prize was 10,000 points. However, one only had one such chance. Acquiring 1 Blood River crystal was 10,000 points. Even if you acquired 100k crystals, you'll still be unable to get more points, getting only that 10,000. After all, to universe levels, maybe acquiring 1 crystal was hard enough. However, to the undying, even to beings like True Yan Emperor who was able to unleash teleportation, acquiring the crystals was very simple. However, it is strange. The Virtual Universe Company has always declared that the Blood River crystals are treasures. Luo Feng was curious, however in Blood River World, there were 10 million worlds. Within every world there would be territories, with many have domain lord warriors. Almost all the domain lords would have crystals. Obviously the amount of crystals is huge. However, even after searching the entire treasure trove of the Virtual Universe Company, there wasn't any Blood River crystals to buy within. Luo Feng was even more curious. Yes, it wasn't sold. Blood River crystals, it was only found here in the secret region Blood River World, and even in Blood River World, it was very valuable. After all, it was plenty. Yet the treasure trove didn't have any. Blood River World mission is a universe-level mission. Luo Feng thought, the domain lords would have to head out into territories to take on envoy missions. As for the sector lords, they have to go through life or death training. I probably won't ever get the chance to enter this Blood River world in the future. At least, I acquired over 9,000 crystals. When I get the chance, I'll go check it out. First I'll take a look at my condition after absorbing the third crystal. Luo Feng didn't think much of anything else, triggering the mysterious energy within. Immediately, a blood-red engraving appeared on his bare chest. A simple but complete engraving. How wonderful. He closed his eyes, feeling the depths of the endless universe. The ripples of the many laws were perceived at this point. Gold, wood, water, fire, ground, wind, light, thunder, space, time, he could feel the ripples more clearly than before. One time. The level of clarity is 1-fold higher than before. The strength of unleashing has also doubled. Luo Feng thought. 1 time more was equal to doubling his power. That was a whole level of power more. I'll give it a shot. I'll see if I can absorb the fourth. Also my willpower is stronger than before. I'll let the golden horn beast try and absorb the 98th crystal to see. Luo Feng was filled with anticipation. After a while, the earth body tried absorbing the fourth and reached halfway before he failed. The golden horn beast fought hard for a while and was just about to succeed before finally getting decimated by the killing aura willpower. Failure. I cannot be too greedy. Luo Feng was gleeful, suddenly standing from the stone bed. My consciousness, it'll probably be another 8 to 10 years before I'll be able to withstand the 98th crystal's killing aura willpower. No rush. His lifespan was 10 times that of a normal human sector lord. To absorb 100 Blood River crystals was the target. He could definitely hit it. Right now I am a blood warrior. Luo Feng thought. The second mission was to absorb 3 crystals and become a blood warrior. However, I will have to receive the Blood River medal, only then will I get the 100k points. Blood River medal. Every blood warrior can go to any world city to the leader and receive the Blood River medal. Blood God Baki, he is also a world leader. He should have some Blood River medals. Luo Feng couldn't wait at all. Remaining in ancient god ruins already had no benefits left for him. On top of that, within the headquarters of the Virtual Universe Company, he had many things to do. It was time to leave Blood River World. He rushed to acquire the Blood River medal. So, Luo Feng flew out through the cave and headed swiftly towards the depths of the pit. It's 97. Deep in the depths, on a platform, sitting cross-legged was a huge bronze silhouette. He looked into the distance. Number 2, what do you think of 97? Because Blood River continent was simply too huge. Hence, every marker of the wrist communicator had a specific range of about only 100 kilometers. To the strong, such accuracy was already enough. Because within 100 kilometers, with a sector lord or domain lord strength, they can instantly discover their target. Whether it was Blood God Baki or the two captains of the Blood God Guards, using the wrist communicator, they all realized, Luo Feng had flew close to the aura whirlpool. As their markers had a 100 kilometers margin of error. None of them knew that Luo Feng had actually entered within the whirlpool. So many years, to focus only on training and not do anything else, at least we can begin to trust him. Indeed we can begin to. In the depths, it was vast. A blood-colored palace was erected amidst the mist. A green light landed before the palace and headed in, simultaneously saying, Blood God Guard 97, greets Lord Blood God. Wait a moment. A voice resounded from the palace. Luo Feng was very clear this was an AI's voice, quietly and patiently waiting within the palace. When the Blood God was training, it was forbidden for anybody to disturb him. To see the Blood God, they can only rely on the AI to request for them. I'm on the 5th level, come. A majestic voice resounded in Luo Feng's ears. Yes. Only then did Luo Feng follow the staircase. Like a blur as he swiftly headed up, in an instant, he reached the 5th level. The 5th level was comparable in size to the 1st level of the palace. Intrepid and powerful, the silhouette was dressed in a blood-red long robe and had blood-colored long hair. It was Blood God Baki. Below His Majesty was another throne. There stood an incomparably tall wild beast Qinyo. Even though he was below His Majesty, with his huge stature, it caused his back to reach even higher than where Blood God Baki sat. Greetings Lord Qinyo. Luo Feng knelt down, one knee touching the ground. 97, what's the matter? Blood God Baki sat high in his throne looking down coldly. Lord, I've already absorbed 3 blood river crystals. Luo Feng said respectfully, I've always dreamt of becoming a blood river warrior and receiving a blood river medal. My reason for coming today is to request a blood river medal. Ah! Blood God Baki stood up fiercely. Beside him, the wild beast Qinyo too shot out 2 spurts of hot air from his nostrils, they flowed past Luo Feng. Absorbed 3 crystals. Baki was shocked. He knew that the talent of this new Blood God Guard 97 was very high. However, to quickly absorb 3 crystals, shocked him greatly. Because some humans could at most absorb 4 or 5 crystals, maybe 7 or 8, like himself. However, it required long periods in the killing aura to alter their body. Yes. Looking at the simple but complete blood-red engraving, Baki's eyes gleamed. He revealed a smile and laughing loudly, 97, very good, very good. Rumble. 2 jets of hot steam shot out of wild beast Qinyo's nostrils. He too let out a thick booming sound, very good.